Have you ever grabbed some leftovers from the fridge, popped them in the microwave, and thought you were making a quick, healthy choice? What if I told you that some of those reheated foods could actually harm your body, increasing your risk of cancer, digestive issues, and even brain damage? In this video, we're going to discuss 5 common foods that doctors and nutritionists say should never be reheated as they can become toxic. These are everyday foods you probably consider healthy, but science shows that reheating them can create harmful compounds that are linked to serious long-term health risks. Stick around until the end and you'll learn not only which foods to avoid reheating, but also why, based on real medical science. This will help you make smarter choices in your kitchen to protect your health and feel your best every day. Let's dive in. Number 1, reheating spinach releases harmful nitrates. Spinach is a nutritional powerhouse, often praised for its health benefits and versatility. Whether blended into smoothies, sautéed in stir-fries, layered in lasagna, or tossed in salads, spinach is a popular choice for many looking to boost their health. Packed with vitamins A, C, and K along with iron and antioxidants, it's a go-to vegetable for many. But there's a catch: reheating spinach after it's been stored could turn this superfood into a potential health risk. The culprit lies in spinach's naturally high nitrate content. In its natural state, nitrates are harmless and even beneficial. They help with blood flow, lower blood pressure, and can even improve exercise performance. However, as research published in journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows, nitrates can undergo a chemical change under certain conditions. When spinach is cooked, stored, especially at room temperature or in the fridge for too long, and then reheated, particularly in a microwave or at high heat, nitrates can break down into nitrites, which can then convert into nitrosamines. Nitrosamines have been extensively studied and are known to be carcinogenic. The World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute have both linked nitrosamines to a higher risk of cancers, especially those affecting the digestive tract, like stomach and colorectal cancer. Emerging studies also suggest that nitrosamines may contribute to neurological damage, potentially worsening cognitive decline or even playing a role in neurodegenerative diseases over time. The transformation of nitrates into nitrosamines is invisible, which makes the danger all the more sneaky. This is especially important for older adults, as aging bodies are more vulnerable to toxins. As we age, our cellular repair slows down, and our ability to detoxify becomes less efficient. What might have been a minor risk in our younger years can have a much stronger effect in our 50s, 60s, and beyond, particularly on sensitive systems like the brain and nervous system. For example, chronic low-level exposure to nitrosamines has been linked to inflammation, a key factor in cognitive decline in Alzheimer's disease, according to studies published in neurology journals. Imagine this common scenario: you make a big pot of spinach soup on Sunday to enjoy throughout the week. By Tuesday, you reheat a portion in the microwave. While it might taste fine, that reheated spinach could now contain nitrosamines formed during storage and reheating. Over time, if this habit continues, these compounds could build up, increasing long-term health risks. The solution isn't to avoid spinach entirely. Fresh spinach is still one of the healthiest foods you can eat. Instead, change your preparation habits. Eat spinach fresh or lightly cooked whenever possible. If you have spinach leftovers, try eating them cold. Think spinach salad or chilled soup, rather than reheating. If reheating is unavoidable, use low heat on the stovetop instead of a microwave and avoid reheating multiple times. Always store spinach dishes promptly in the fridge and consume them within a day or two. Knowledge is power. By making small changes, like prioritizing fresh or cold spinach, you can protect your body and brain from hidden risks, ensuring this nutrient-packed food stays a health ally rather than a hidden threat. Number 2, reheated potatoes can quietly harm your health. Potatoes are a beloved comfort food valued for their affordability, versatility, and satisfying texture. Whether mashed with butter, roasted with herbs, baked with a crispy skin, or simmered in hearty stews, potatoes are a staple in meals worldwide. However, there's a lesser-known danger when potatoes are cooked, cooled, stored, and then reheated, a common practice in many households. This process can cause changes in their composition that may lead to health risks, particularly if they aren't handled properly. When potatoes are freshly cooked, their starches soften into a form that our bodies can easily digest. But as cooked potatoes cool, especially if they're left at room temperature or stored in the fridge for too long, the starches undergo a process called retrogradation, turning into resistant starch. In moderation, resistant starch can be beneficial, acting as a prebiotic that supports gut health and stabilizes blood sugar, as noted in the Journal of Nutrition. The problem arises when these cooled potatoes are reheated, especially using high-heat methods like microwaving. The main concern is that they can harbor harmful bacteria, such as Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This risk is highest when potatoes are cooked, wrapped in foil, and then cooled slowly at room temperature before being stored. These conditions create the perfect environment for Clostridium botulinum to thrive. Even if potatoes don't smell spoiled, this bacterium can produce invisible, odorless, and tasteless neurotoxins that can cause severe illness, including nausea, dizziness, and in rare cases, neurological complications. For older adults, this is especially concerning. As we age, our immune defenses and digestive efficiency naturally decline, leaving the body less capable of handling bacterial toxins. Medical research also highlights the connection between the gut and the brain. Chronic inflammation caused by harmful bacteria or toxins in the gut has been linked to a higher risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, as discussed in Frontiers in Neuroscience. So, that seemingly harmless act of reheating leftover potatoes may, over time, contribute to systemic inflammation that affects both physical and mental health. Imagine this scenario: you bake potatoes for dinner, wrap the extras in foil, and store them in the fridge. A few days later, you reheat them in the microwave. While it's convenient, this habit might be introducing trace toxins into your body, and over time, those effects can add up. To safely enjoy potatoes, follow these simple steps. Cook only what you plan to eat fresh whenever possible. If you have leftovers, cool them quickly and store them in airtight containers. Avoid wrapping them in foil before refrigerating. When reheating, use the oven or stovetop to ensure even heating, and never reheat potatoes more than once. If leftovers have been in the fridge for more than a couple of days or show signs of spoilage, it's best to discard them. Potatoes remain a nutritious and tasty food when handled correctly. By being mindful of how you store and reheat them, you reduce health risks while enjoying all their benefits. For older adults focused on maintaining energy, memory, and long-term health, these small adjustments can make a significant difference. If you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating great content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move on. Number 3, reheated eggs can release harmful compounds. Eggs are a staple in many American kitchens, valued for their affordability, versatility, and rich nutritional profile. Whether scrambled for breakfast, hard-boiled for a snack, or baked into quiches and casseroles, eggs provide essential nutrients like choline, which supports brain function, and high-quality protein that's important for maintaining muscle strength. However, reheating cooked eggs, especially in the microwave or at very high temperatures, can turn this nutritious food into something that poses subtle but real risks. When eggs are initially cooked, their proteins undergo a natural process called denaturation, where they unfold and reorganize into forms that are easy for our bodies to digest. But when those same eggs are reheated, especially with uneven or intense heat, further chemical changes take place that affect both their safety and nutritional value. There are 2 main concerns. Reheating eggs can cause the breakdown of sulfur compounds and the oxidation of cholesterol. The sulfur compounds in eggs naturally degrade when reheated, giving them a rubbery texture and a sulfur-like smell. More concerning, however, is the oxidation of cholesterol in the yolk. When exposed to heat, cholesterol can turn into compounds called oxysterols, which have been linked to higher levels of inflammation and cardiovascular disease. According to research published in the Journal of Lipid Research, chronic inflammation caused by these compounds can also contribute to memory loss and neurodegenerative conditions like dementia. The Nature Review's Neurology emphasizes that older adults are especially susceptible to these effects because their bodies process fats less efficiently. As we age, arteries lose flexibility and the brain becomes more sensitive to inflammation. Imagine this: you boil a batch of eggs on Sunday to eat throughout the week. By Wednesday, you microwave one for a quick snack. While it seems like a healthy, protein-packed choice, reheating has already toughened the proteins and oxidized the cholesterol in the yolk, quietly introducing compounds that can contribute to systemic inflammation and long-term health decline over time. The best solution is to enjoy eggs fresh or eat them soon after cooking. If you prepare eggs ahead of time, try eating them cold in salads, sandwiches, or as snacks instead of reheating. When reheating is unavoidable, use low heat on the stove and avoid reheating them multiple times. Store cooked eggs in the refrigerator and eat them within a few days. If they smell off or look discolored, it's best to discard them. Eggs are an incredibly nutritious food when handled properly, and these simple choices, whether you reheat, store, or eat them cold, can make a meaningful impact on your health, supporting your energy, clarity, and overall well-being for years. Number 4, reheating chicken can trigger hidden inflammation. Chicken is a popular staple in many households, known for its versatility, affordability, and reputation as a lean, healthy protein. Whether grilled, roasted, or baked, chicken is a popular choice for families, fitness enthusiasts, and anyone looking to maintain a balanced diet. Many people prepare chicken in bulk, store it in the fridge, and reheat it for quick meals throughout the week. On the surface, this seems practical and convenient. But here's something many overlook: reheating chicken, especially in the microwave or at high oven temperatures, can change its composition in ways that promote inflammation, digestive strain, and even long-term health problems. When you first cook chicken, The heat denatures its proteins, making them easier for your digestive system to break down. However, when you reheat chicken, particularly with uneven heating, like in a microwave or at excessively high temperatures, the proteins undergo another transformation. They become tougher, more rigid, and harder to digest. For younger people, this may not be noticeable, but as we age, digestive enzymes and stomach acid production decline. Foods that used to be easy to digest can now leave you feeling bloated, uncomfortable, or sluggish, with the reheating process often being the cause. Beyond digestion, reheating chicken can lead to the formation of advanced glycation end products (AGEs). These compounds form when proteins and fats are exposed to high heat multiple times. AGEs are far from harmless. They've been directly linked to chronic low-grade inflammation, which is now recognized as a root cause of conditions like heart disease, insulin resistance, Alzheimer's, and dementia. To illustrate, imagine roasting chicken breasts on Sunday and storing them in the fridge. By Tuesday, you microwave a portion for lunch. It feels fine to eat, but maybe a bit rubbery or slightly off in taste. That change in texture indicates deeper chemical changes. The proteins have been damaged by reheating, making the chicken less digestible and creating compounds that stress your body. Over time, this repeated strain can fuel inflammation, silently wearing down your resilience. For older adults who may already be managing conditions like arthritis, high blood pressure, or brain fog, this hidden stress can worsen existing challenges, leaving you with less energy and clarity as time goes on. So, what can you do? First, if reheating is necessary, use gentle methods like low heat on the stove or in the oven to minimize damage. Even better, consider using leftover chicken in cold dishes such as salads or wraps and avoid reheating altogether. Another option is to prepare smaller portions, allowing you to enjoy chicken fresh without having to store large amounts. The key takeaway here is that how we prepare food matters just as much as what we eat. Chicken is a healthy option, but mindful handling ensures it remains beneficial rather than contributing to hidden health risks. As we age, these small adjustments, like choosing gentler reheating methods or opting for cold preparations, become powerful tools for protecting long-term health and vitality. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, reheating mushrooms can disrupt their balance. Mushrooms are known for their earthy flavor, meaty texture, and rich nutritional content. They are packed with antioxidants, fiber, B vitamins, and immune-boosting compounds like beta-glucans, making them a great addition to many dishes. Whether sautéed in stir-fries, added to omelets, or simmered in soups, mushrooms are celebrated for supporting heart health, boosting immunity, and even lowering cancer risk. However, there's a hidden drawback. Mushrooms are particularly sensitive to reheating, and this sensitivity affects not just their taste and texture but also how your body responds to them. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms contain a unique combination of complex proteins, enzymes, and delicate fats. When cooked fresh, these components break down in a controlled manner, releasing flavor and unlocking nutrients. But when reheated, especially at high temperatures or multiple times, these proteins and enzymes break down further into forms that are harder for your body to digest, which can leave you feeling bloated, sluggish, or uncomfortable. For older adults whose digestion may already be slower, these effects can be even more noticeable. The problem goes deeper too. If mushrooms are improperly stored, for instance in a plastic container that traps moisture, they can oxidize when reheated, creating compounds that lead to oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is one of the main contributors to aging, linked to chronic inflammation, heart disease, memory decline, and a weakened immune system. Research shows that oxidized compounds in foods can increase this burden, making your body work harder to protect itself. Consider this scenario: you prepare a creamy mushroom risotto for dinner, filled with oyster and cremini mushrooms. The next day, you reheat a portion in the microwave. Suddenly, the mushrooms become rubbery, watery, or a bit slimy. They taste bland compared to yesterday. These changes aren't just disappointing. They signal chemical breakdown, where proteins and fats transform into compounds that your body struggles to handle. For older adults already dealing with digestive or immune challenges, these subtle changes can worsen fatigue, brain fog, or digestive issues. What seems like a harmless reheating habit can, over time, add to your body's stress and inflammation. So, how can you reduce these risks? First, store mushrooms properly. Use a sealed glass container in the fridge to prevent moisture buildup. If you need to reheat them, do so gently on the stovetop over low heat instead of using the microwave. Even better, enjoy leftover mushrooms cold in salads, paired with olive oil and herbs, where their flavor and nutrients remain intact. And if possible, cook only what you'll eat in one sitting to avoid storing leftovers altogether. The takeaway is simple: even small dietary choices can have long-term effects. Avoiding reheated mushrooms might seem insignificant, but it's one less strain on your system. By paying attention to how you prepare and store your food, you can keep mushrooms as a true ally for your vitality. Instead of a hidden source of stress, these mindful decisions made meal by meal help you stay lighter, sharper, and stronger as the years go by. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, I want to thank you for taking the time to learn about the surprising risks of reheating certain foods. Take a moment to reflect. What part of this video stood out to you the most? Was it the hidden dangers in spinach, the bacterial risks in potatoes, or how reheating common foods like eggs or chicken could quietly impact your health? Maybe it was the surprising way mushrooms lose their balance when reheated. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let us know what you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating helpful content. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us continue providing valuable information and inspiration. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.